East Stroudsburg University track and field with men's head coach Joe Koch, women's head coach Chris Merli, and guys, obviously we have the 8th annual ESU All-American meet coming up on Saturday, and want to preview that a little bit. Also just want to talk about the first 4 weeks of the outdoor season and some of the highlights so far. 4 NCAA qualifiers at this point, 1 automatic, and Matt Tolos. Let's start with Matt and the Javelin.
Yeah, I mean, Greg, our throwers are having an outstanding year. We knew Matt had the potential. It's a little bit of a shock, I guess, that he did it so early in the season. But, Josh held the record 2 years ago when he was second runner-up at Nationals. And we had another guy, Lance Brandon, had it before that, who was also an All-American. So it's a pretty tough record. And yeah, Matt's just having an outstanding year.
Nice to have those two guys, obviously, with national experience. In the Javelin, Matt was an All-American last year, placed 7th, like you said. Josh Hans, runner-up in 2011. Just to give the marks, Matt's automatic 226.5, which is a school record. And then number 2 in Division II right now, Josh Hans, 207.3, and that is number 7 in Division II at this point. Also Travis Toth in the hammer. You mentioned the men's thrower was having a nice year, and he kind of leads the hammer shot discus guys.
Yeah, he's somewhat of a local product. He went to Western Wayne High School, just north of here. And he's made tremendous progress in just over a year. So number 2 all-time behind our GA Paul Wagner, who's multi-All-American, won 7 or 8 conference titles in the throws. So yeah, he's coming along great. So between the 2 javelin throwers, our dynamic duo, and Travis, the throwers are having unbelievable year.
On the women's side, Corinne Fitzgerald has 2 NCAA provisional marks right now in the steeplechase and in the 5K. Coach Merli, obviously you handle the women's team. Coach Katz more specifically with the distance runners. So both you guys just kind of put in perspective what she's done so far this year.
Well, I mean, Corinne, she had another really good cross-country season. Indoors, I don't think she competed the way she wanted to, and what she's, that was a little reminder call to get going outdoors. So she ran her steeple at Lafayette, which was our 3rd meet of the year, I think. So second, right? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, yeah, Virginia, right? She didn't run in Virginia.
A little early for Coach Merli.
Yeah, she ran the 10K in Virginia. She's going to qualify because that worked last year for us at PSACs, and then she ran. Joe had her run the 5K the other night. It's nice, the way those events are spread out at our PSAC meet. It's doable to try and score some points for the team, and she did that last year. And then she's getting ready this week. I think she's running the 3K. I don't know what the stadium record is, but Julie, who is that? Julie Bowers, I think. Yeah, pretty good fit. But anyway, she's going to run that straight up, and then next Thursday evening she'll be down Penn Relays and going after a time in a big race down there. So
coming off the indoor season, you had 3 PSAC indoor champions.
Right.
Let us know how their outdoor seasons are going. Christina O'Connor in the high jump. Elizabeth Madden won in the weight. Now she's throwing the hammer outdoors, and then Danielle Smith in the 100.
Well, it's funny you mention all 3 of them because they're all banged up a little bit. But we actually our first meet in Virginia, we had some excellent performances, and we're sort of coming off somewhat of a break. We really, kids were pretty rested, even though we did work out pretty hard with some of the colder weather. But it was spring break; they had a couple of days off, and even Lafayette, we had some good performances. And then, we sort of had one more surge of heavy training. Liz had some health issues, even indoors, so we're just being cautious with her. I think she qualified in the hammer, and, we'd like to get her in the disc, but, the hammer, she has a real excellent chance of doing something well there. Danielle's qualified in her 2 main events, the 100 and the 200. We're having, she's going to be fine, and Christina, she had a big indoor season, and she's just sort of, a lot of times the pole vault and the high jump, when you go outside from the nice, stable conditions of indoor, it's really an adjustment. You're dealing with weather and wind. Spatially, it's just different, and your run's off. And when they're running that arc, and I know that's what Christy's problem is right now. She's struggling with her takeoff, and she has some chronic knee problems, and she's dealing with those. But,
Two other women who are having a very good outdoor season so far. Kim Warnersbach
Right.
has run some really good times, and then Lauren Ventrella in the
yeah,
hurdles,
I mean,
100 and 400.
Kim just like ran lights out in that 5,000. She ran at where was that?
Buckner. Down in Virginia.
Virginia, yeah.
Yes.
She had a heck of a. Yeah, she'd never run it before, and she ran a provisional time.
Won the race.
Yeah, won the race down there in
30,
Virginia.
40 runners.
So, and then she's projected to score in her 1,500 in the conference. She's going to run that this weekend here and see where she's at with that. And yeah, she's really stepped it up. Ventrella has been our stalwart. We've asked her to do a lot of things. I mean, indoors she ran, the hurdles, and we had her in the 200, but she ran her 4x4. And outdoors, you get the 100 hurdles. She's really made up her mind to go after the 400 hurdles this year.
Mm-hmm.
She runs on her 4x1. She's one of our faster ladies, and then the 4x4. So we put a lot on her shoulders. She's hanging in there. We're about ready to take it a little easier on her so she can get sharpened up for the PSAC meet. So we're trying to get a good time in our 4x4. We're heading down to Penn next week with hopefully 4 healthy ladies, and we like to get in the fast heat in the conference meet. We're 3 weeks out. We're running out of time. It goes fast.
Yeah.
So
and like you said, obviously after this weekend's home meet, you do go to Penn. Then a last chance meet in between.
Yeah.
And then the PSAC meet. So we're already kind of hitting.
Yeah, we're pretty much.
stretch
Our
here.
training has peaked, and we're tapering, and we're just. Right now, our focus with the kids is we tell them, let's get healthy, let's be healthy, let's be smart,
Study.
Yeah, and that's another issue.
Make sure you take care of finals.
Yeah, I'll get ready for it.
Helps.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Coach Koch, we already talked about obviously the men's throwers, but you've had some really good performances, as you probably expected across the board from carrying over from the indoor season where you scored highly in a lot of different individual events. But just go through a couple of your top runners on the track.
Yeah, well, I mean, Coach Merli sprinters and hurdlers are really made a nice transition, like you mentioned, from indoors to outdoors, and are doing well. Our 4x1 relay won a couple invitationals. They run 41 point, which is a pretty quick time for the first half of the season. Mm-hmm. Eddie Burgess and Brandon Mercer kind of lead the charge there. Our middle distance guys, Mike Saporito is the standout in that respect. He just got nipped at the line down in Virginia, won the second meet of the year. Mm-hmm. He's run 153, once again, outstanding performances, hopes to go a little bit faster. And being at home this weekend, it would be a good opportunity if the weather cooperates for him to, have a good race.
And that stable of cross-country guys that you had, Chris Schneider, Frank Feza, Amaral Dean, Jim Romano, Mike Pereira, all those guys now, pretty late in their season, obviously, because they started back in the summer getting ready for cross-country.
Yeah, and, for the most part, Greg, they're all qualified in the events they have to be for the conference meet. Mm-hmm. So we're in good shape there. I think as we go through this, we're talking about a lot of seniors, and I guess I describe it as good senioritis. These guys now realize they're coming down the home stretch of their college careers. They're about as focused as they ever are, whether it's Lauren Ventrella or Fitz, the guys you just mentioned, or javelin throwers, and we got some younger kids who are performing well. But, I think this time of the year, the seniors really step it up, and that's kind of exciting to see, and it's a nice way to finish off their careers, And I guess the last thing I'll just mention quickly is our men high jumpers. Mm-hmm. We have a couple freshmen there, and Kyle Soden, our senior, who are really doing a nice job. Will Berry and Seth Bailey are 2 freshmen who kind of go back and forth each meet. Yeah. One beats the other one week, and then they switch the next week. And Kyle's seems to be jumping better than he was indoors. So so those guys are also doing well.
This Saturday, the All-American meet gets underway 9:30 with the throws down behind Dansbury Commons, 10 o'clock at the stadium with the 3K. Just give us an idea of what Warrior fans can expect coming out to the meet this weekend.
Well, I believe we're going to run the team that I hope to run even in indoor PSAC on the 4x4 on the men's side. I don't know who's the competition is going to be. We're going to give them a shot anyway, if everything works out. And then they're going to run at Penn next week. So, they were the conference champs. So, if you're a fan of the 4x4, that's a good one. 4x1s are always exciting. We'll have both I believe we'll have both our A groups out there. So.
And I guess like any track meet, for maybe if anybody is watching this who's not familiar with the sport, there's always something exciting going on. I think Coach Merli and I were sitting down the other day and we realized for most of Saturday we have 8 different events that are going on at the same time simultaneously. So, if it's a race on the track that's not super exciting or a slower heat, there'll be something on the infield or over at the long jump, triple jump pits that's probably, very competitive and real exciting. So, yeah, I think we could describe it as a 3-ring circus, but there should be some outstanding performances. There always are. I do know we have a couple of real competitive programs that are coming up with some athletes who can, push even our best people we talked about already.
Army Prep has one. The men have a really good 4x1, so that'll be interesting.
Monroe College, who is a collection of outstanding sprinters and jumpers, and they're going to be competing. And we'll be getting the entries a little bit later today. We're hoping to get them before this.
Yeah.
But I guarantee there'll be some exciting stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Very nice to see the Warriors be able to compete at home. We're very fortunate that we do have the indoor meet every year, and the Shriver, and the outdoor now the All-American for 8 years. So look forward to seeing the Warriors on the track and the throws and the jumps on Saturday. Thanks,
Hope to
guys.
see you Saturday.
All right. Hope to see you.